really love creating decorative paper. So this time I wanted to go in with some Blick liquid watercolor as well as some Black Cat India ink. And I really love the play of the ink versus the watercolor, the different viscosities on the wet paper. So after taping down my watercolor paper, I am adding a ton of water. This I'm going to let some white areas shine through, shaking up my Blick liquid watercolor, and then dropping it on. And I really love how the color starts to bleed out. And then I started a new process this week where I use compressed air and I blow that onto the surface of my paper, letting that kind of further shoot the water and especially the watercolor around the page, kind of creating the bleeds of the natural watercolor and water relationship, but then also the further push of that air just really creates a nice blast. I'm adding a little bit more water to some of the edges to help the color bleed more and just to kind of keep things moving, splattering it just to kind of add some more water where the air blew it away. Now it's time to have some fun with the India ink. I'm going to put it into a small container so that I can control where it goes a little bit more for this page and grab a small brush. It's going to bleed differently depending on how wet the page is. And I'm kind of loving the fact that it's a little bit more of a controlled line with some subtle bleed outs depending on the watercolor wetness, the paper wetness, and where the air has changed how wet the paper got. I'm splattering down into it too to give some variation between the solid black line and some smaller speckles here and there, just playing, having fun, following my intuition, and not really worrying about the outcome. Now it's time for some more compressed air to see if I can get that ink to move even more, kind of letting it create some tendrils, similar to what you would get if you took a straw and you blew through the straw to move the ink around. This is definitely a technique that I'm going to return to with compressed air. I'm kind of obsessed with how far I can push it. So try it out, let me know how it goes, and tag me if you post your work on social media.